Okay, joined by Saginaw Spirit head coach Chris Lazary, and the match that all the OHL fans here anyway have been waiting for. How excited are you as a coach ahead of this one?
Yeah, I think for me, excited's a great word. It's more like about the opportunity to advance to a Memorial Cup final for me. So, I mean, there is obviously history here. We've played them. Everybody's well aware of what's going on there. But for us, it's a huge opportunity on a huge stage to win one more game and get a chance to play for a championship.
From a coaching standpoint, is it nice to transition away from some of these teams you've never seen before and back to a more familiar opponent?
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. I don't know. We're just enjoying the moment. To be honest with you, I don't care Q team, dub team, O team. It's just fun being out in that environment. It's fun coaching in the Memorial Cup, watching our guys compete on that stage. And I think so far our first two games have been pretty electric in here. We're looking forward to that third one tomorrow night. But yeah, it does help. Prep-wise, you probably don't have to spend as many hours staring at a screen because we've played them 10 times this year and just played them in a playoff series. So there's some familiarity. Obviously, we've watched them twice in the tournament just to see if there's anything different. But I think we're prepared.
And just as a snapshot of the last month, from the heartbreak of being eliminated to the time off and transition in between to the first two games being 2-0, as a coach, you have to be pretty happy with the execution and how things have unfolded.
Yeah, because we haven't let our players read too much on media, but a lot of the experts out there didn't have us winning a game, and we're 2-0 now, sitting there controlling our own fate. So, proud of the group. And again, it's a huge opportunity against a team that we can't wait to play again, and I'm sure they feel the same way. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people tuning into the game to watch it just because of the caliber of hockey we're going to see here on Wednesday night.
At this time of the tournament, you usually get a couple of teams who would love a do-over. And there's two that are playing tonight that would love a do-over. It goes so fast. You have to hit the ground and be ready. How do you think you guys did that?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because you don't want to feel bad for teams, but you watch these teams that they go through what they go through to get here, and you go out -2. Party is oh man, poor guys, and the other party is tough break. But for us, it's hitting the ground running. I think going to the conference final, it's not like we sat around for a month or a month and a half. It was, we had that week off, and by the time we got our 7-8 practices in, it was upon us quick. So it hasn't really felt like a huge time off. And obviously, I think the benefit of being a host, and it's first time for me going through it, when you're playing on your home ice, there's zero adjustment to the environment, the ice, being on the bench. We're coming from our billet homes, the routine changes. Nothing changes for us. Teams that come in here, there's a lot of different things they got to get used to before they almost set on and play the game. I think that's an advantage for the host team. So I think we've had that in our favor. We'll just be able to go out and play another game in our rink is what it feels like.
Why didn't in the host bid you get last change for this game?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the rules. They tell us we're a visiting team. No problem for us. We don't match lines on our end anyway. We got 12 and 6 that can play. I'm not a matchup guy. I never really have been. So it's irrelevant to me. What I would like is to win Wednesday night and have last change in the final. That's our goal.
Okay. We've been coming here for years, and the crowds we haven't seen anything like this, right, in 20 years kind of thing. So
no,
what's that been like to be part of that?
Prior, when we went to the conference final a few years ago, it was very similar. We had a lot of sellouts here down the stretch. I think we played you guys fairly early in the year, at home, if memory serves me correct. So generally for us, once we get to the football season, our crowds are up at that 45 plus a night. So it comes commonplace down the stretch. But it is for sure extra with the Memorial Cup. I think the one thing, even talking with Craig Gosden and Dick Garber, just the residual effect we'll have moving forward with our fan base, and it is impossible to walk around the city right now without people talking to you. I went grab lunch and cop comes, grabs you, talks to you for a half hour. You're going to Chipotle and there's 10 people in there, and you come in, it's just everywhere you go, you get slowed down because there's just everyone's trying to talk about, which is exciting for our market. It's kind of always been a little bit of a dream for our franchise to get to that point with our fan base. So now that we're here, can we keep it going moving forward? And I think just the connection, our players have done a good job in the community. They've gone to the ball hockey tournament. A lot of our players are going over and helping out with the hockey schools and the camps that are going on and volunteering their time, trying to make sure that everybody's getting a feel what this is like, and it's been pretty special.
Okay. And you grew up watching, you said Lindros and those guys. Do you remember, is this what you dreamed of when you saw that when you were a little kid?
Yeah, when I was a little kid, that didn't resonate as much, just as more. I remember going to the Oshawa General games and going to a rink that was a circus, sold out, couldn't get tickets. Lindros was playing, everyone knows what that was like. And that kind of got you the bug to be this league's pretty cool. But I was 8, I think, at the time in 90. So, but now in 98 was the first one when George Burnett's Guelph team went to, I think it was Portland or Spokane. Spokane, yes, I believe.
Portland beat them.
And they lost in the final. I remember watching that and watching Chris Haight, and I was that's where I got the bug of like I wanted to play in a Memorial Cup, and they lost in the double overtime and all those things, and then obviously never got there as a player because I wasn't very good, but got to now get into coaching, and now we're here. So it's from 98 on, I don't know math, but it's 20, maybe 6 years of watching and wanting to be here, to be in it now and be 2-0. Like, it is a surreal feeling, but our biggest thing is just try to stay in the moment, and you still got a lot of work to do. You can't get looking around at what's going on.
Have you figured how do you beat London? How do you get them?
Score more goals. Good question. Like, that's you know what? Like, as much as we don't like them, we do respect them. They're a good team. They've done a lot of good things. They're well coached. It's the London Knights. Like, everybody's well aware of them. It's going to be a tough game. Like, I think when you go, if you're just a numbers guys and you look at the analytics in that series, there's a lot of games that probably should have fallen away from a numbers perspective where we out-analytic them. It doesn't matter. Like, you lost the game. But so there's a lot of good things we're doing. The number that stands out for me is when we're on the power play, we're top 3 in most categories in the playoffs analytically, except for actual to expected goals for, where we're minus 4.35, which is the 16th in the league. So it tells me that we are creating high dangers, but we're not scoring. So is that Simmer being unbelievable? Is that us not scoring on our chances? If that number was in the positive side, are we playing in the final? Maybe, who knows? You don't know. But that number has to improve, and then just obviously there's some things in there we got to clean up against them. But it's going to be a good game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be a good game, and then a good game on Sunday against the same team.